Samasta jana kalyane niratam karunamayam namami Chinmayam devam sadgurum brahmavidvaram. My salutations to Puja Swami Pranavananji and to everyone present here, Pranam. There was a young prince. He was very fond of hunting, and he went on hunting. And as he went on hunting, it got dark and he got separated from the rest of the group. The retinue which was following the prince, they were separated. And he couldn't find his way back, and as it really got dark, and he tripped. He was in a horse, he tripped, the horse ran away. And the prince was lost, and he was walking to find his way, some footing, and he slipped from the cliff. As he slipped from the cliff, he was falling down, and it was a deep fall. As he was falling down, there was something which came on his way. A branch or a rope or a creeper, whatever, he held on to that. He held on to it, hanging on to his dear life for a while. But how long can you hang on to your own weight? So he started shifting his weight from one hand and then moved to the other hand, went on trying and trying, but there was a point where he could not hold on further. After struggling there for 2.5 hours hanging on, he said, now I give up. All he has to do is hang on for a few more hours. The daytime, the daybreak would happen, the king would have sent the people and he would have been rescued. But he could not hang on further. Those 2.5 hours of torture, nightmare, he decided to let go. He left the rope. Next moment, he was standing comfortably on a rock. You want me to explain? Or you want to analyze for yourself? It's a beautiful story. There was a stone 6 inches below, and he did not know about it, and was hanging and hanging for 2.5 hours. A nightmare he went through. Then let it all go, and he was comfortable standing. You still want me to explain further? Because some stories, when you leave as it is more beautiful. But I'm not seeing that understanding in your eyes. Is that what we do? We don't know what we want is already there. Not knowing what we want is already there, we are spending a whole lifetime searching for it, which we already have. That which we already have, we are searching. And a whole life goes that way. Not able to find, please think. So it is important we search in the right place so that we find what we want, because it is already there. Bhagavad Geeta is one such book which gives you the right direction to search. And we may sincerely study and we will find what we want. Because what we want is already existing. It is only becoming aware of it. So this book would make us aware of finding what we want. It is there already. We don't have to search. We don't have to struggle. We only have to recognize the rock is just 6 inches below, waiting. We connect with it, we are all bliss. Till we connect with it, it is all blisters. Full blisters. Every now and then, this is too much, that is too much. You understand how? But the moment we connect with it, we are there. So we're going to take up a very interesting portion in the Bhagavad Geeta. It's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. I'm sure all of you are aware of it, but I want you to know this particular thing. This dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna is a dialogue between two householders. It is not a dialogue between two sannyasis. It is a dialogue between two householders. A person living a householder life, having a family, children, responsibility, overloaded with administrative responsibilities. Please think, they were not just a citizen, they were kings. Householder, kings, having a family and children, they were discussing. It's not a knowledge of sannyasis. We may explain that to you, but the dialogue was only between those two. So it's meant for the householders, people living here in the world, not for the people living in the mountains, not for the people living in the caves, not for the people who have withdrawn and gone. It is meant for the people living in the world to live here well. So if you have an idea that if you attend these lectures, we may ask you to drop everything and come. Please drop that idea. No one is going to ask you to leave anything. We are only going to talk about those two people, grahasthas, living in the world, and they discussed how to live well. One needed guidance and Krishna gave. So this is a dialogue that way. So this book has 18 chapters. We're going to take up the second chapter, and that too the last portion of second chapter. Second chapter has 72 verses. And we're going to take up the last 18 plus 1, 19 verses, which forms this beautiful composition. And this is called Sthita Prajna Lakshana, the characteristics of wise. We are the otherwise. You understand? We are the otherwise. And these are the characteristics of the wise. So we have to go from otherwise to wise, and all we have to drop is the other. Drop other, and we are wise. So this portion can help us to drop the other and just become wise. How do we become wise? Here are the characteristics of a wise person who is steady in wisdom. Wise person, one who is steady in wisdom. He is anchored in wisdom. He looks at the world always through wisdom. Any situation coming to him, he sees it through wisdom. So this is important. So we are going to discuss the characteristics of a wise person. How would a wise person respond to different aspects of life? How would a wise person respond? Let's say betrayal. Suddenly you are betrayed by a friend, or betrayed by your business partner, or by a family member, or something which is quite natural. People are extremely selfish sometimes and they betray. Now suddenly when you are betrayed, how would you respond to betrayal? Or how would you respond to huge business loss? How would you respond? Suddenly you get to know that you're terminally ill. Be it health, be it loss. How would you respond suddenly if you realize you hit a lottery and you're a billionaire next moment. How would you respond to something which comes to you? Joy or sorrow, which is overwhelming, how would you respond? How would you respond if you're stuck in a traffic jam? Which I have experienced here every day now. How would you respond to victory? How would you respond to defeat, to loss, to gain, to unexpected events coming your way? How would you respond? Be it joy or sorrow. We've learned from this portion how a wise person would respond. How a wise person would be. What is his state of mind? How does he live? How does he go about? We are going to discuss this. Once we have a thorough discussion about these verses, I am sure, end of it, you and I would be admiring the wise person's qualities. We would be admiring the wise person's qualities. What kind of a wise person? How the wise person? What are his traits? What are his qualities? And remember, when you admire something deeply, you want to possess it. That's the beauty of admiration. When you start admiring something, you think, this is so beautiful, this is awesome. And when you really start admiring, you want to possess that. So our attempt for today, tomorrow, day after would be to admire the traits of a wise person so that we possess those traits. We get a hang of it. And we want it. That will change. Change the quality of your thoughts. You are changed. It is the thoughts which make what we are. Whatever kind of thoughts we have, we become that. So it's very important what kind of thoughts we have. So here are the values, qualities which we go on admiring. Then when we admire that, we want to possess, our thoughts change. And once our thoughts change, personality has changed. Then we live here. And we live here well. Then we will live here in a way, going through various aspects of life fully. Live in such a way that you don't want to live again. You understand? When you want to go through something, go through it so fully that the desire to go through that again doesn't come. When you want something, get it. Be done with it. And live that well so that the desire to have it again doesn't come. When we half live, not sure, not fully involved, then those desires never die because we have not fulfilled them. They keep coming back because we have not lived them fully. So admiring the values, the qualities, the traits of a wise person, when we live here after that fully, we exhaust our vasanas. Mind doesn't crave for anything new. Existing vasanas gets exhausted very well. So nothing is left behind. There's no residual vasana coming back again. That way we can exhaust. And some of the desires we can even transcend. It really doesn't matter. Certain things have to be exhausted. Certain things can be transcended because it is not required. You can transcend some. Either way, we would be out, free from desire, yet living here and cherishing life. You understand? Living here, go through life, but get out of the grip of cravings, etc. This wise traits will help us that. So this portion is almost like an Upanishad. In an Upanishad, you have a student asking a question and the teacher answers. Most of the Upanishads are a dialogue between student and teacher. This portion, what we are taking, is also a similar dialogue. Arjuna asks a specific question to Krishna, and Krishna elaborates answers to it. That portion is what we're going to take. If you have a book with you, Bhagavad Geeta, chapter 2, open up to verse 53. If you don't have a book today, you can bring one tomorrow. You can beg if you don't have, borrow, and download. I'm not telling you the other one. Beg, borrow, or download. Download second chapter. Just get the verses. If they are with you, it would be handy as we discuss. It would make you remember it a little more better. So here we go. Verse 53. Brahmachari Arvind will chant and we will repeat after him. Yes, Arvind, start.
Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna uvacha
Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha
Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha
Samadhisthasya keshava
Samadhistasya keshava
Sthitadih kim prabhasheta
Sthitadhi kim prabhasheta
Kimasita vrajeta kim
Kimasita vrajeta kim. Same verse once more.
Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna uvacha
Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha
Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha
Samadhisthasya keshava
Samadhistasya keshava
Sthitadi kim prabhasheta
Sthitadhi kim prabhasheta
Kimasita vrajeta kim
Kimasita vrajeta kim. The soldier is asking a question. Arjuna. In the battlefield, the warrior is asking a question. He is asking, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha, Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna is asking, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha, samadhistasya keshava. O Krishna, O Keshava, please tell me, what is the description? Ka bhasha. What is the description? What are the traits? What are the signs? Sthita prajnasya. Sthita, steady. Prajna, wisdom. What are the traits of a person who is established in wisdom? What are his qualities? What are his traits? Samadhi tasya Keshava. O Keshava, they who are established in the Samadhi, who has hit the stillness. Samadhi means being still. Our mind is not still. It's wandering, it's running, it's rushing. When we sleep also it comes out as dreams, sometimes pleasant dreams, sometimes nightmare, something or other the mind keeps throwing up. Very, very few people nowadays have good, deep sleep. How sad that is, huh? Good, deep sleep is rare. That's why we keep asking people also, isn't it? Did you sleep well? Why do we ask people? What I saw you yesterday, you were miserable. Did you sleep well? Deep sleep itself is rare. So whenever we are not in deep sleep, mind is continuously chattering. Never still. The mind has to become still. So samadhi means a person who has stopped thinking. The mind has hit the stillness. Quiet. And it is possible for every one of us because two warriors are discussing. Two family men are discussing. It's not somebody who has withdrawn, gone into the forest, sitting somewhere, is talking about it. Two people, din and roar of the war, there they are discussing this, and it is possible. Mind can be quietened. It just needs regular, consistent practice. So those who have practiced consistently and come upon the stillness, samadhi, those who have become samadhi, who has become quiet, still, how would this person talk after that? How would this person talk? How would this wise person speak? And how would this wise person sit? Asita vrajeta kim. How would he sit and how would he move around? Prabhaseta, how would he speak? How does he speak? How does he sit? How does he move around? One who is established in stillness. In short, the question is, those who are enlightened, how would they move in this world? And they also live here in this world. How would they sit? Are they sitting always in Padmasana? Or are they only maun, always silent? Or if they speak, do they speak only Sanskrit? How do they speak? How do they walk around? How do they sit? It's a very natural question, saying, those who have reached this state, we can't understand, but if we see someone living that way, then we know this person has reached it. This person has got there, and this is how he is behaving in the world. This is how he is transacting in the world. This is how he is doing. That could be more easy for us to understand. Anyone who sets as an example would be more easy to learn. Watching someone living those values, then we feel, this is nice. I should also try to be like this. I should also attempt to be like this. So we get to see. So here he wants to know. That's how Arjuna raises this question. Please tell me, how does a wise person transact in this world? The answers for that is what is the main theme of our discussion. This was just a question introducing the topic. But there is something more about it we need to know. Hindu philosophy gives you the freedom to question. If you don't have question, the teacher makes you question. The teacher throws question. Imagine a teacher throwing questions to us and making us think. Like, for example, Ramana Maharishi. If you go to him, he will make you question, make you inquire, who am I? Ask this question. This question never occurred to you, now I'm asking this question. Start inquiring, who am I? Kastvam, koham, kuta ayataha, Bhaj Govindam, Shankara says. Kastvam, who are you? From where have you come? Who's your father? Who's your mother? From where have you come? What is your source? Ask these questions. If a student is not asking these questions, the teacher makes sure that he puts some wisdom into the student to ask right questions. Asking right questions is also very important. Many a times we ask questions which are never relevant. I have got so many times a question. Very funny question, huh? Swamiji, what were you doing when you were normal? What were you doing when you were normal? So the person has decided, I am abnormal now. Gone case. The otherwise. What were you doing when you were normal? Is it a very relevant question? But we have questions, isn't it? In Delhi airport, okay, very interesting. I was going and the security guard, there was hardly any, it was an odd hour flight, so there was no queue. So the security guard who was scanning me, frisking me, he didn't want to let me go. So he looked at me and he said, do you read palmistry? I said, no. Do you do face reading? I said, no. What do you do? Hare? What a question. What do you do? By now I was also quite annoyed. And you just let me go, man. Do you read palmistry and do you face reading? I said, I teach Gita. So immediately the security guard says, say something about Gita and go. Say something about Gita and then you go. I was like, wait, I'll tell you what Gita tells you now. And I told him, Gita says, do your work correctly, don't waste time. He looked at me, you go. What does Gita say? Tell and go. By the way, say something and then go. Okay, what does Gita say? You can't read he was disappointed that I can't read his palm. Neither can I look at his face and read his aura and then say something. I just can't do all that. Incapable. And I'm happy I'm incapable. Okay. What do you do? He couldn't believe. You're traveling somewhere. What do you do? I said, I teach Gita. You teach Gita. Say something and go. We don't even know what kind of questions to ask, isn't it? How many of us ask relevant questions? And we should know to ask relevant questions, because a relevant question indicates your quest. The kind of a question we have indicates the quest. If we have quest for life, we have quest for God, we want to know the Supreme, then we would have questions that way. So Arjuna, who is almost shattered, psychologically broken down, is just coming out of depression. And it was really hurting him, suffocating, stifling. He wants to break that free and come out. So he's asking Krishna, tell me, how does these wise people respond? Because I need to know that so that I can get out of my present condition, which is really, really bad. It is so suffocating, and I've been living like this. I want to free myself from this suffocation. So tell me, how are these people living, so that I may lift myself to that way? So the question came from a deep urge to free himself from all suffocation. Someday, we also should feel that suffocation. That I'm living here, doing the same thing again and again and again. Where am I heading? How long can I do the same thing and die? Is that what meant to be? That do the same thing and one fine day die? Where am I heading? Have I left something worth? Have I achieved something beautiful before death comes to me? So those qualities. So Arjuna felt very suffocating. So he says, I need this freedom from the suffocation. So tell me, what are the qualities? And Krishna answers. We go to the next verse, verse 55, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Prajahati yada kaman.
Prajahati yadha kaman.
Sarvan partha manogatan.
Sarvan partha manogatan.
Atmanyevatmana tushtaha.
Atmanevatmana tushtaha.
Sthita prajnastadocyate.
Sthita prajnastadocyate. Once more, same verse.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Prajahati yada kaman.
Prajahati yada kaman
Sarvan partha manogatan
Sarvan partha manogatan
Atmanyevatmana tushtaha Stita prajnastadochyate
Stita prajnastadochyate. Stita prajnastadochyate. Uchyate. It is said, this person is Stita Prajna. One who has this quality is Stita Prajna. Bhagavan Vacha, Krishna is saying here, Bhagavan Vacha, these qualities a person has is Astita Prajna. What are they? He says, O Partha, O Arjuna, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Partha, O Arjuna, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha atmani eva. That person who is content in himself or herself, a person who is happy with himself or herself, a person who is happy within, atmani eva tushtaha, satisfied in one's own self, one who gives up, yatha prajahati sarvan kaman, this craving which one has for such a long time, one who disconnects from it, that person who revels within and has disconnected this craving, he is called a wise person. Now, let us look at it this way. I just want you to think, and you must do this thinking now as well as when you go back home. Please do the thinking so that whatever we request you to do, please do it so that tomorrow when we continue, it would be very, very helpful. It picks up. Then I know how to proceed. So certain things you have to do and come. So one of the things I want you to do is when you get back home, I want you to sit quietly for 10 or 15 minutes by yourself and ask this question. Go back, make an analysis. What was your last desire fulfilled? Everyone have some desire or other. And what was your last desire? Whatever was your last desire which got fulfilled. Take that question. What was my last desire which got fulfilled? And then check how many factors were brought together for that one desire to get fulfilled. You did it all by yourself. A desire of yours which got fulfilled. Is it totally your self-effort which made you get there? How many factors were brought together which is known and unseen, unknown, unseen factors, unknown factors, known factors, visible factors came together to fulfill one desire. Please analyze this. Why I tell you this is, when you make this analysis, you will definitely arrive upon a very important revelation. For a seeker, this revelation is very, very important. You will come upon a very important revelation that the Lord loves you. We need to feel that the Lord loves you. This is important. If we don't have this feeling, the Supreme loves me, to seek the Supreme would be very, very hard. We may approach out of indifference. We may approach the Lord out of fear. We may approach the Lord out of frustration, helplessness. No. Let us approach the Lord out of love. That He loves me. When you take that desire and when you really analyze the known and the unknown brought together by Him, then we know how many such desires He fulfills every day to you. Every day. Intense desires could be few, where you have to go back and analyze. But what about desires which are fulfilled every day? How many factors come together for a handful of meal? How many factors? When did it start? Clueless we are, isn't it? This desire of mine, a handful of meal is fulfilled. When did that start? Prepared it much before I came, right? From that time onwards. The right environment, the correct field, the climate, the seasons, the food, the people who guarded it, the people who tilled the land, people who sowed the seed and saw it grow, and then from there, guarding it from animals, etc., cultivating it carefully, storing it somewhere, and then from storing it somewhere is no use to me. It has to reach me. How many factors were involved for it to reach me? Who did all this? The Lord continuously works. Not just for you. Just think how many such desires He has fulfilled in daily basis. In daily basis, how many such desires the Lord has fulfilled. When I wake up to this, I would arrive upon a beautiful understanding. Ishvara loves Jiva. Ishvara attempts constantly to see that Jiva is happy. That's His effort. That's His love. Continuous effort. The Lord makes it, puts it across so that we are happy. The moment I understand this much, then I would know for sure I have made my Lord work overtime. Isn't it? We have made the Lord work overtime. And He has fulfilled continuously. How many? And yet we are not happy. How sad is that? Yet we are not happy. Every day He brings so many factors together, assembles them brilliantly, effortlessly, and my desire is fulfilled. And yet I am unhappy. How ungrateful we must be. For someone who has done this much to us and still not happy. If we are unhappy, we are ungrateful to God. This is Gurudev's words. Being ungrateful. To complain is being ungrateful. This is Swami Chinmayananda's words. To complain is being ungrateful. For the Lord who has done so much to us, we still have cribbing. We still crib over something. Think about it. Do you know how to put it off? Put it off quickly, come on, yeah. That's okay. Oh, thank you. I mean, just imagine. How can we complain? Now, honestly speaking, if we are sad, we are ungrateful. That's the truth. After the Lord doing so much to us, we are still sad, still complaining, still feeling not fine. That is being ungrateful to Him. We cannot have complaints. Forget complaints. We can't be sad. We cannot crib. Anywhere we start cribbing about anything, we are ungrateful. Because He has fulfilled so much to us, has given so much. When I wake up to this, then I turn back and I look how much the Lord has blessed me already. If only I remember that, I would stay happy. If only we remember that, we will stay happy. Just remembering how much we are blessed already, we will be santushta. We would be happy. Because so much the Lord has given, few things are not there, it really doesn't matter. When I end of it, when I see thousands and thousands of daily desires fulfilled, and few handful which you really thought is important has not happened, what does it really matter? It doesn't matter. We have no right to be unhappy, I'm telling you. If we are unhappy, we are ungrateful to God. After giving so much, after blessing us with this much, let's be grateful, let's laugh. Let's be cheerful. Give Him back a smile, saying, thank you. We have already done so much. I keep forgetting. Do this exercise today. Your heart will be full of contentment, fulfilled. Then you will spread happiness around. Because what comes out of you will be satisfaction. What comes out of you will be happiness. So here he tells, the Lord answers, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha santushtaha, content, happy with oneself. Only this if we remember, we will be happy. From this happiness, the mind will become still. Then we really connect to the happiness. The Ananda Swarup within, we will connect. If we can get this calm down. So let us be seeking God from gratitude. Let's live in this world from gratitude. Thank you. You have blessed me in abundance. I am moving around with that feeling. Santushta. Tomorrow when you come here santushta. Feel it. What has He served? How much He has served? What all He has brought? How well He assembles everything, every time. Hundreds of such things He assembles for my joy every day. Let's be grateful. So that way, Atmani eva Atmana tushtaha, a person who is feeling grateful and content within for whatever one has received, then we live from happiness, not for happiness. That is achievement in life, isn't it? Moving around, how are you living? Happy. How are you living? Trying to be happy? No. How are you living? Happy. From happiness, I play the game of life, not for happiness. From happiness. This much we understand. Heart would be content, fulfilled. From there we will play the game. So he says here, satisfied in himself or herself, that person would not crave for anything after that. What are you craving for? You're already happy. From happiness you play, it doesn't matter. Today what we do, we desire hundreds of things to be happy. forgetting that we are already happy and already we have been given so much. So please remember what is already received. Every day, what we have already received, we would be content. A wise person that way revels within and does not go on craving for things outside. He is fulfilled. Then what comes on his way, he cherishes it. How beautiful that is. You don't crave, but whatever life offers to you, you celebrate it. Not craving, but what comes, thank you God, celebrate it. Delightfully, cheerfully, holistically enjoy the world from that understanding. Now do you understand the conversation between two grahasthas? It is not a conversation of sannyasis. Two householders living here can do this. That way go around life. Continuing, next verse.
Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha
Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha
Sukheshu vigataspruhaha
Sukheshu vigataspruhaha
Vitaragabhayakrodhaha
Vitaragabhayakrodhaha
Stitadhirmuniruchyate
Stitadhirmuniruchyate
Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha Sukheshu vigataspruhaha Vitaragabhayakrodhaha
Vitaragabhayakrodhaha
Stitadhirmuniruchyate
Stitadhirmuniruchyate Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha Sukheshu vigataspruhaha Vitaragabhayakrodhaha Stitadhirmuniruchyate Munihi. Mananashilavan, one who can contemplate is Muni. Muni is not, don't translate it to a sage. Withdrawn sage is a Muni. Whoever can do mananam, extremely, one who, what you listen, you go and reflect upon it well. What you read, you reflect upon it well. Shravana. And that which is heard, when you reflect upon it well, then you get into the zone of contemplation. When you get into the zone of contemplation, you are a Muni, which is born out of your own reflection. Stitadhir Muniruchyate. That person is called Stitadhir, one who is really established. Who? Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha. Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha. Sukheshu vigataspruhaha. Whose mind is unperturbed in troubles. Dukkha. Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha. And who doesn't get too excited at the vigataspruhaha sukheshu. Sukheshu vigataspruhaha. One who gets in contact with happiness, joy, nice events, he is not too excited about it, nor is he disturbed of troubled situations. And that person is free from raga, bhaya, krodha. Vita raga, bhaya, krodha. One who is free from raga, bhaya, krodha. Raga, attachment. Krodha, anger. Bhaya, fear. He who is not allowing himself to be disturbed by the world, various things in the world can come. Dukkesh. Saying, let it come, I can handle it. And there are joys coming. When you contact joy, he doesn't get too excited on seeing a victory, on seeing something. He doesn't get over-possessive, over-excited. He takes it in a stride. This is something nice which has come. That which is nice, it is really nice it has come, but I know that which has come is not going to hang around here long. Every joy, every troubled situation do not have a permanent residency. No PR. All are on temporary visa. Anytime move out. What? Joy. Which joy you have experienced is permanent, which is there with you? Gone, isn't it? Which sorrow which you have experienced is still bothering? There could be a new sorrow bothering us now. That which was bothered 10 years ago is dropped and gone, forgotten, finished. It doesn't do. The intensity of it goes away, isn't it? Even when you lose someone extremely dear, the first day is really intense. The first year is intense. You intensely miss that person. Bothers you regularly. Slowly the intensity dissolves. It is no more the same intensity. You may have all gratitude, but the intensity of sorrow is not the same. No sorrow stays the same. No joy stays the same. They come and go. A wise person knows it. So there's no point getting overly disturbed with a sorrow or overly excited with joy. They have just come. They flutter here for a while. And you just take it and go. Don't give too much importance. This is a quality of a wise person. Do not pay over attention to any of these. They just come. We need them. They come for a reason. At another stage, we may even understand the reason. When it comes, probably we may not know the reason. But at a later stage, definitely, if you are a little calm, you know the reason why it has come to you. But whatever has come, let it come and go. None of them stay here forever. Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukheshu vigatasprihaha. Then, apart from that, make sure you don't have raga, vita raga bhaya krodha. Raga bhaya krodha. Attachment, fear, anger should be dropped. Krishna is telling only 3 things to drop. Drop these 3. Raga, bhaya, krodha. And what a freedom to live. When you make your resume, when you make your resume, this kind of line should be there. What have you done? I've studied MBA, I've studied this and that, and I've done this, okay. I'm also free from attachment, fear, and sorrow. And anger. Attachment, fear, and anger. You just write it in your resume. Just see what happens. One young guy, it actually happened. I'm not joking. This happened. One young boy came to me, because I work with the youth. They came to me and said, Swamiji, you help me with my resume. I'm posting here. I said, really? Okay. I said, write all this. Then I told him, write. Whatever he was writing, I said, write all that. Write this line. I have conquered attachment, you write. What are you talking about? I said, you trust me? Yes, I do. Then you write. Serious? Are you write? So hesitatingly he typed, I have conquered attachment. The resume went. The guy who picked it up saw well qualified and all that, and there is one line which is out of place. I have conquered attachment in a corporate interview. I have conquered attachment. So they called him, you come here. So the interview was going. I told him, the day you're going for the interview, you must follow exactly what I say. Saying what? I said, take a lot of vibhuti. Put it in your forehead, bright. It should be conspicuous. Put it up fully, vibhuti. You go with your blazer, suit, tie, whatever you want, you go. But your forehead should dawn with bright vibhuti, not thin where you have to search. There are some people who would like to hide their devotion, isn't it? I said, demonstrate it, put it fully. Saying, Swamiji, this job is important for me. I said, I'm telling you, you do this. So the guy somehow trusted me and went. Now he's sitting there, and 3 guys are sitting on the panel, and they're questioning him. And they left all other questions. The first question, explain, what do you mean you have conquered attachment? Please tell me, what does that mean? It looks out of place. Then he started, I plus I want, kindle life. I plus I want is attachment. When you are attached to something, it gives you botheration. You are to have and not to possess. Now imagine the wisdom coming out. In an interview, you're saying you are to have and not to possess. Oh, nobody asked any technical question. All question was Vedant. That was more or like a satsang. More or like a satsang. He have comfort, that is his zone. So you ask questions, he went on answering. And the last question they did ask, you see, you should be intelligent enough to make others ask the questions you want. You should know. When you're negotiating with somebody, your negotiation style should be, you should make them ask you what you want. Let them think they are asking, but make it such a way, that is subtle. So finally they came to Vibhuti. Have you come? You have come for an interview. And what is this in your forehead? So bright. He looked. Now this is his forte, a AICHYK member, you understand. So he knows. So he looked at him and he said, Sir, this is ash. The body I wear, not I am the body, okay? The body I wear one day will become ash. I remind this to myself daily by rubbing it in the frontal lobe of my brain, the seat of memory. I rub it. Saying this body, what I have, one day will become this. And imagine I remind myself daily about it. Those 3 guys were sitting there, far ahead in age to this young boy with jaws dropped. Appointed. Think of it. No question asked. How did you pass your MBA? What grades did you get? What did you do? Nothing. True. But please leave that apart. Really, in our resume, we should have this. I came upon this earth and I dropped Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. That's worth living. You understand? Your signature should be that. I have come upon this earth and I have dropped this. I live here without these 3. Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. That should be your resume. That's worth living. How beautiful life is when you conquer these 3. Raga, attachment. To anything and everything we get attached. What is life? When I get attached to something, instantly I lose my freedom. Instantly. When I'm attached to something, I become a dependent. What is life when you constantly depend? Depend on that which is not certain, isn't it? Nothing remains certain and I'm attaching myself to uncertainties. When I'm attaching myself to uncertainties, when I'm depending on uncertainties, how will I be free? We'll live a life of insecure life, isn't it? Every now and then threatened, because the whole attachment is to uncertainties. We are not attaching to permanent, the Lord. We are attaching to to the world. And world is uncertain. Every experience in the world is uncertain. And to that I am holding on dearly. How can one be happy that way? Conquer it. How do I conquer it? Have it. Don't possess it. You understand? This is important. You can have, but don't possess. Having it is physical. Possessing it is in the mind. Don't possess. Have. We are living here, you have. Various things coming to you, you have. Don't possess them. To have and not to possess. That's the way we should live here. Then how can the world make me sad? How can anything in the world can even affect me when I learn to live, to have and not to possess? It's not having, because you can't. Something or other you will have. When we are living in the world, various things will come. Our prarabdha only will bring different things. Whatever comes to us, let us have it. Don't possess it. There's a difference. Wise people had everything, never possessed anything. To have and not to possess is a beautiful way of living. Raga. When I have deep attachment, naturally there is bhaya. Because you are attaching yourself to that which is uncertain. When I am attaching myself to that which is uncertain, what do? Live in threat. Live in insecurity. Because that which I am attached to is not certain, which can slip away any time. When it can slip away any time and I'm holding on to it, where is peace? There is fear always. Constantly living in fear that I may lose this any time. Something can happen. It can be lost. It can be taken away. It could be snatched away. We live in fear, isn't it? When I'm attached, I live in fear. When fear really hits you hard, you become angry. Because you're not now very sure that you have a deep fear that you may lose it. That which is very dear to you, and when you are about to lose it, or that which is very dear to you, you want to get it but you're not getting it, there comes an obstacle between you and your object of attachment, either to gain or to lose. That obstacle, expression of that obstacle is anger. Anger is an expression between you and your desire. If an obstacle comes between you and your desire, then that is anger. I want this, but somebody came in between. I want this, and I really want it, deeply want it. Somebody came in between. I am now being blocked from my desire. Anger is the expression. Or you are deeply attached and someone took away what you're deeply attached. Anger. So anger comes from attachment to the desire. That which we hold on. If an obstacle comes, that is anger. If we conquer attachment in the first place, where is bhaya? Where is krodha? We can get frustrated here and there in the world, but that's superficial. Because when you live here, you tend to get frustrated. That is okay. But you're not disturbed. You're not depressed. Frustration is something very superficial. You drop it and you move on. It doesn't really stay there to bother you. But to be attached, then one would be surely disturbed. I was with Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda. This was in the year 1991 in Coimbatore. He was staying with one Chandrasekhara warrior. With him he was staying. I was sitting with him. I just finished the Vedanta course, a brahmachari in yellow clothes and all that. We were sitting. Somebody in the crowd who was sitting asked him a question. The question was, Swamiji, your organization, that is Chinmaya Mission, has expanded so much last 40 years. and it is still expanding. It has grown wide across the world. Huge it is today. What will happen to it after you? What will happen to Chinmaya Mission after you? What do you think would be his answer? Sthita Prajna. What would a wise person answer? What would happen to Chinmaya Mission after you? You know what he said? I don't care what happens to it when I am living. Now, what can you do with somebody like him? How can, the guy with all sincerity, why he thought it's a very important, very, very valid question, that he's questioning a rishi, future of this organization, very important, all that. He looked, what will happen after me? I don't care what happens to it when I am living. When I'm living, I'm not bothered. After me, what are you talking about? You are to have and not to possess. He never possessed this organization. Never. He said very clearly, and he continued the dialogue. He's a master of wit, okay? That's how he questioned. I don't care what happens to it when I am living. And then he went one step forward. He said, if I see it falling, that which you have built, if I see it crashing down, I would stand there and whistle. Now, what do you do with him? If that whole thing is falling, crashing down, I would stand there and whistle. Watch it falling down. Because you built it, it is falling. It's a show. It's a game you built and nothing is going to stay forever. It's falling. Okay, stand there and clap. Come on, it's falling. It's his will. Then he made a point. It didn't happen because of me. It happened because of him. If he wants, he will continue. When he thinks he will shut it, he will shut it. Now, this is the conviction of building a worldwide organization, not attached. And what is our attachment? To what are the things we are attached? So tiny, so insignificant, so small. We get attached to it so dearly. See the difference. Let's learn this quality. I could see in him. When I'm talking about Sthita Prajna, actually I'm talking about him. Because I've seen all this in him. All these traits and qualities. This is how we responded. I won't care for it. Very difficult to have conversation with him. I know it. One very serious question. Swamiji, what will happen to Chinmaya Mission after you? I'll laugh. I'll whistle if I see it falling. What do you do with it? You mean to say he was ever attached to an organization? Nothing. Organization was a tool. He had a much greater vision. See, I'll tell you honestly, you all have to understand this. To introduce Swami Chinmayananda as founder of Chinmaya Mission is grave injustice to him. He was not just a founder of Chinmaya Mission. That is too insignificant of what he did. He was a rishi with a vision who worked for the renaissance of Hinduism. That work, what he did, is much more. The organization is absolutely insignificant. It's really injustice if, I keep hearing this, Swami Chinmayananda, the founder of Chinmaya Mission, sorry, that is too small an achievement. You're degrading him, limiting him to an organization. He was much more. A person who came, brought Bhagavad Geeta to common man. That was his contribution. Brought Vedanta to common man. How many organizations are following it today? The man started, pioneer. These are his things, glory. Not he founded an organization. He worked for the Renaissance. Dharmastam stapanartaya. That's what he did. So for a person like that, complete detachment with what he was doing. Vitaragabhaya krodaha. Neither does he get excited, nor does he get depressed in difficult situations, excitement in great situations, and free from raga, bhaya, krodaha. One more verse.
Yas sarvatra anabhisnehaha tat tat prapya shubhashubham
Tat tat prapya shubha shubham
nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratisthita
tasya prajna pratishtitha
yas sarvatra anabhisnehaha tat tat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandati nadveshti
nabhinandati nadveshti
tasya prajna pratisthita
tasya prajna pratishtitha sarvatra, everywhere, yaha, that person, whoever that person who has reached that state of truth, that person, sarvatra, wherever that person goes, anabhi snehaha, snehaha, attached. Anabhi sneha, not attached. To anything, the person is unattached everywhere. Neither does he rejoice nor does he hate on facing tat tat shubha ashubham. Favorable, unfavorable condition. When one comes there, he neither rejoices nor does he hate this favorable, unfavorable conditions. Who does not sway between favorable and unfavorable, learns to keep balanced at even difficult situations, that person's knowledge is steady. Tasya prajna pratishtita. You know Ramayan story, I'm sure. Most of you know it. You know Ramayan story? I'm going to ask questions, that's why. Now you know Ramayan story? Okay. Dasharath had 3 queens. Rama's father Dasharath had 3 queens. Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi is the one who designed and said Ram should go to the forest for 14 years and her son Bharat should be kept in throne. Bharat was not even aware of this. And Kaikeyi got her ways done. Ram has to go to the forest and Ram took it on himself saying, yes, to honor my dad's word, I am walking to the forest. When Ram said, and the ban was only for Ram. Lakshman, his younger brother, said, I am also coming with you. Nobody forced Lakshman. He volunteered. He said, in forest, if Ram is going, I am going to be with him. I will go with Ram. He volunteered, not 1-2 years. He volunteered to be in exile with his brother for 14 long years. When this news comes to his mother, Sumitra, how do you think Sumitra would respond when this news comes to her? Today's mothers or today's fathers would call Lakshman and say, go hide somewhere. Let Ram cross the river further away that side, somewhere let him go and then show your face. Go hide somewhere. When Sumitra heard that Lakshman did not even discuss with her, but stood up and said, I am going with Ram, her response is worth noticing. He did not even discuss with her, he volunteered. Sumitra tells Lakshman, I am proud of you. I am proud of you that spontaneously you took up a decision of this kind. What? Separating from her. Her son is going to go away into the forest for 14 long years. You are not sure whether you will meet him again or no. Whether you will stay alive till he comes back, or whether he would be safe in those 14 years and back, not sure. Yet, Sumitra tells Lakshman, Lakshman, I am proud of your decision. And then she tells Lakshman, do not go into the forest as Ram's brother. You are younger and you have been pampered. If you walk there as Ram's brother, you would be pampered and he would serve you. Not you would serve him. Go there as his escort, as his servant. The feeling of dasa, not brother. Mother's advice, that you have to follow him. Now go there as a servant. As his escort. You stand there as his escort and be there. Not as his brother. Drop the idea that you are his brother. Go now. What an advice. When the whole kingdom was shattered, everybody is down, and Sumitra's advice, and the final line was the best. She tells him, this is non-negotiable. If anything happens to Ram, it should be after Lakshman, not before. If anything untoward, someone killed Ram, let us say, Lakshman died, then only Ram died. It's not that Ram died and then Lakshman died. That is not acceptable. The queen, the Kshatriya woman, saying, no, that is not acceptable. That Ram died and then Lakshman was also killed. Ram was first injured, then Lakshman was injured. No. Lakshman was injured and then Ram was injured. Lakshman died, then Ram died, not before. Because you are going in for a duty of that kind. And she knew the challenges of the forest, the demons who were there. She's not a lady who did not know anything. Well, completely informed queen she is. She knew the dangers which can come. And she says, first it should be Lakshman. Then you're doing your job correct. Not that emotionally I'm attached to Ram, I love Ram and therefore I'm going. No, you're going in, go there perfectly. Look at the mind balanced of that woman. And then she tells, this I will never accept. That you return back to Ayodhya without Ram. If you can't come back with Ram, don't come back. You're coming back, come back with Ram. Otherwise, don't come back. Look at the mother. Look at the queen. Look at her vision. She knew the value of Ram. She knew what Ram would be for Ayodhya. How well Ram was trained for it. Great admiration. Great vision for Ayodhya. And she knew Ram Rajya, she knew Rama's capacity, and she's advising her son, this is how you should serve Ram. You see, parenting, lessons to be learnt on parenting. If this is the respect a mother is going to give towards the sibling, where will the rivalry ever come from? What a lesson. In most difficult situations, calm. In rejoicing situations, calm. Neither too excited nor disturbed. In favorable and unfavorable conditions, mind is steady. This person is Stita Prajna. At that kind of a calamity, Sumitra showed her strength. What a woman, what a Hindu woman she was. These are the qualities we should emulate. Don't be shattered on small things. Neither get too excited about various things. Let the world and things around the world never disturb, but do what is right. Don't do what you are attached to. 100% Sumitra loved Lakshman, but she saw what would actually make Lakshman worth being Lakshman. She didn't possess him for herself. Advised him correctly. This kind of strength we can have. This kind of strength we can have. That has to be cultivated. How many soldiers, moms respond in the same way? Today also we see. Isn't it when a person joins an army, the mother knows that I've sent my child for something highly risk. Advise correctly and go. How many parents let go their children, go to the army, okay. It could be dangerous, but go. What is right? So this is the quality of Stita Prajna. What Sumitra did. Is unattached everywhere, neither does he or she rejoice, nor does he or she hate on facing various favorable, unfavorable conditions. When a person is like that, tasya prajna pratishtita, well established in knowledge. More of it we will take up tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.